Welcome to Rediscover the Verde Valley, presented by the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. I'm Christian Oliva del Rio, and with me today is Vice Mayor Kyla Allen.
Good morning.
Good morning, and business owner for Twin Wolves Designs.
Yes, sir.
Right, and current candidate for council for the City of Cottonwood.
What fun.
So I know, what fun is right. So, Kyla, I know you've been in the Verde Valley for a very long time. Can you give us a little history, a little background?
Sure. I moved here about 32 years ago. At that point, I had 3 children, and one was just reaching school age, and I really didn't want her in the public school system in California, which is where I lived at the time. And so we moved out to a small rural area that I had never visited before called Cottonwood, Arizona, that just loved. Took a little while to get used to that small town environment. Became a mom of 6.
Wow.
So I've got 3 native Arizonans in my family now. And they all graduated Mingus Union High School and are off on their various
so
activities. All grown up.
Having their own families and still come and visit quite a bit?
Oh, yeah. I've got 2 actually that live in my same neighborhood. 2 live down in Tucson, and 2 live out of state. You know, they follow a girl or a guy, and they go out and do their thing. You know, one is a tutor at Pittsburgh University, Pitt University, and another, my son just bought his first house, so he's jazzed. And he lives in New Jersey.
Yeah. Wow, New Jersey.
I know. Why
back to a city boy too,
exactly. He loves it. He loves it.
That's awesome. So husband and
husband of over 22 years.
Yeah.
Jim Allen. He was police chief in Jerome for a while, and he actually works for Red Rock Jeep Tours, which he's been doing for almost 25 years now.
So he's native to the area, Jim?
No, he was actually born in California, but came here very young.
Yeah.
So I think
he's got deep roots here, though.
He should be a native.
Right.
You know,
that's great.
We love it. We love Arizona.
Yeah. Love Jim too. Great guy.
He is.
He's my buddy.
I'll keep him.
So, any grandkids? We were.
You know, there's his, mine, and ours.
Right.
I had 3, he had 5, but they were grown when we got together, and then we had 1.
Yeah.
So he has grandkids, wonderful kids. Some live locally, some live up in Utah. And then I don't have any yet. All right, kids, come on.
Yeah, I know. For sure, right? Get busy here. We need some grandbabies.
I need a grandbaby. So, but they're still young. You know, you got time.
Absolutely, got plenty of time. I've got 3 of my own. You know, and I love those kids. Boy, they make the day worth going.
When you have kids early, mine were, you know, all 21 and all before the age of 30. Basically, I had 5 children, and then after 30, I had 1. You kind of push on your kids. It's okay to wait a little while to have kids, because you're still a kid yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, have fun.
You've got to experience some life, and
and then settle down.
I'm still pushing my daughter Amanda, who's in Prescott, you know, and she actually was running a daycare for a number of years, and she was like, I had my fill. I don't need them
no babies.
I'm waiting.
That might be what the issue is. When you have 5 kids, they're each taking care of a baby, and they're like,
So, tell us a little bit more about your history and your involvement with the city.
Well, I started working for the city, actually, I think it was '89, but I had left for a little while and then came back in '93, and I started working for the fire department. I worked for the fire department for 10 years as the admin there. Enjoyed it tremendously. Ever have an opportunity to work with the fire department, it's just like walking into a family. I can't sing their praises more. I went from there to Cottonwood Police Department, worked there for several years, and probably one of my favorite positions, because you really feel like you're making a difference. I was the assistant to the police chief at the time, went through 2 chiefs, and just really, I mean, I typed transcripts for a homicide, and I felt like that was really making a difference in the world. And so I really enjoyed that. Different kind of family environment, police officer, different kind of deck. And then I went to the city manager's office and worked as his assistant for 7 years, I believe, quite a while.
It's amazing that you've given a lot to our community.
I worked in a lot of different, and then on top of the positions, of course, I've volunteered for numerous boards and commissions. You want me to go that route? I've actually right now I serve on the Verde Valley Leadership Program Board, which I love. I'm a graduate of Class 3. We just did interviews for Class 13.
It's amazing.
It's just a wonderful contribution to our world, to the city, in bringing leaders to the forefront.
The Verde Valley, for sure. Right.
To the Verde Valley.
That's where I think you and I actually officially kind of, I mean, we've always, you know, done business together, but I think I was a graduate of Class 2.
Right.
So, and then served on the board after that.
Exactly.
So,
that's where we got our relationship going.
Right,
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
So we're working on that. I'm part of the Northern Arizona Professional Women's Group.
Yeah.
This year I serve as the vice president. Next year I'll be the president. Great group of women, whether you are a professional, want to become a professional, or a retired professional. It's a great organization to be a part of, know what's going on in the community, and just hang out with like-minded women. You know, really is great. And then Verde Valley Military Service Park.
Right.
I'm serving on that committee right now. Love that. If you've not been to the park, go visit the park. They're always adding new sculptures and things.
Right,
so.
right. That's excellent.
Cool.
So thank you for, you know, all your service to our community.
I love it.
You continue to do more and more, and it amazes me. How do you find the time?
So my husband said, "How do you do that? I'm tired of just going to work and back."
So can you tell us a little bit about some of the exciting things happening in the city, and, you know, maybe events or?
Sure. One of the, well, of course, we've got our 4th of July event coming up real quick. Hoping maybe we get a little bit of rain.
A little more rain.
Because right now it's really touchy. The fires, it's too easy to set. But of course, 4th of July at the Kids Park in Cottonwood. Gates open at 4. Event starts at dark. I'm actually going to be giving a little presentation at 7:30. The mayor's out of town enjoying a much-needed vacation, so I get to step into those shoes at that time. Going to be a blast. What else exciting is going on? The city recently awarded some grants to some organizations. There's the Verde Valley Homeless Coalition. They applied for the grant. A couple organizations applied at the same time, and we thought they both were worthy, so we awarded them both. And they're getting $12,000. Raina Avalon is the chair of that commission, and they're creating a drop-in center for the homeless, because of course we get excessive weather, whether it's hot or cold. This will help them, as well as take showers, get on the computer, look for jobs, that kind of thing. Wonderful organization. I hope they're very successful. And then Disking for Kids. You know, Disking for Kids, gentleman by the name of Eddie Diaz started it in Flagstaff. He has well over 2,500 kids participating, and he asked for a grant for the baskets. If you never played disc golf, it's a little disc, and it's more technical than frisbee. Never say frisbee. and you. It's
a little harder.
It is much harder.
You would think it would be easy, but
it's a little disc. I can do that. No.
Right.
Anyway, we awarded him a grant to buy baskets to use here in the Verde Valley and organize that same kind of participation for our kids.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Really excited about that.
Right. So you were appointed to the council, correct?
Correct.
There was a seat that became available. When was that? Can you tell us a little bit more?
Actually,
give us the history on that?
I retired in 2015. 6 months later, we had 3 council members step down at the same time in order to run for well, 2 were to run for other offices. Mayor Alinsky ran successfully. Supervisor Garrison ran successfully. And then Jesse Dowling stepped down for personal reasons. He was moving out of the area, who has since moved back, so look for him in the future. And so I thought, I just retired. I was going to move into my art business. I thought, well, I can serve for 2 years. They need some good people in that can just step in and pick up the ball, and I know just about everything. Of course, there was some to learn for me, but so I thought I would apply, and I was the top scoring candidate of the 12 candidates that applied. So
that's excellent. And when was that?
I'm sorry, that was in 2016.
2016
in July.
Okay. So then now that puts up that seat is available, and that's why you're running.
Correct. It had 2 years remaining on that term, and so I have to run if I want to stay on council.
Why?
Which I never thought, because I'm not a politician personality. I don't do that politician thing, but I found that I make a difference, and I hear the people that some people don't listen to. And they're not just constituents, they're friends, they're business owners, they're people that are concerned. And I felt like I really can make a difference, and I feel like the city needs somebody that's qualified and has experience to step into those shoes. These are challenging times, so we need somebody that knows what they're doing.
So tell us a little bit more about the city council. What's it like working with different personalities, different
and
ideas.
It's quite a challenge, but it's a challenge in a good way. Anything that happens in that council chambers, most of us, as soon as you walk out of that council chambers, it's left behind. No matter if you're totally on opposite sides of a topic, which there's been many lately, you step away from, the majority of us step away from that, still friends, able to have lunch together. There's more politics than I would have ever thought, and I worked on the other side, assisting the council for many years. So to be stepping on this side, I was quite surprised by the amount of politics. Fortunately, for me, of late, there's more good than bad. There's more support than not. So I'm enjoying that. I have enjoyed it. You know, you always have your dips and your need to get a thicker skin, you know, but I really am enjoying it.
That's great. You know, that was one of my big questions, is why would anybody want to do it, you know? I admire you for stepping up and doing that. You've always had a service-minded life, and you know, you're always giving to the community, and we sure do appreciate that.
Thank you.
So I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the city and the city council. Okay?
Sounds good.
Great. Thank you.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. Christian Oliva Del Rio with the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce, and again with me is Kyla Allen, Vice Mayor, running for City Council.
Correct.
Business owner. Tell us a little bit about your business, if you would.
Oh, Twin Wolf Designs, and it's actually not been doing a lot lately just because I've so invested in the council. Twin Wolf Designs, I'm an artist and I paint on everything, whether it's wood or antlers or leather, and then your general canvas paintings.
Right. Well, when we did the painted barrels too, you did one of our barrels.
I did.
That
I've actually done 3 of them.
Right,
so.
that's great.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit more about the City Council, okay? So, you know, what were your struggles maybe coming on? What were some of the things that you might have thought you knew and had to learn, or, you know?
I was pretty comfortable going in there. You go to this League of Cities and Towns training to make sure you understand open meeting laws and things like that. So that was a big thing, where you can't discuss things with other council members when you're not in the council chambers.
Sure.
So that was fun to learn. Biggest struggles, as I was saying before, is learning not to take things personally, because it's very political. Some people have extremely strong opinions, especially after our last presidential election, the kind of tactics that were used. So that's kind of what happens on a smaller scale in our community, which is sad, because I think we're above that. We are closer to the people that we work for than the federal
these
government.
Are our neighbors, and
our neighbors, our friends, and you don't want to go that route. You want to be friendly and keep a relationship going. So that's probably the only struggle that I've really had, is understanding or not understanding, dealing with that kind of political jockeying, which whether I'm vice mayor, council member, it doesn't matter. I'm still working for the citizens. It's not It's not my position. It's their position they're allowing me to fill.
Right. Well, that's, I think, why I keep asking why. Why would anybody want to do this? You know, I'm serious. It's very frustrating to me that, you know, people can destroy a person's character and you know, not treat them right when they're serving our community. They're doing the best that they can for our community.
And I would hope that the public understands people, when they don't really have anything
constructive
to say, they tend to just throw stuff out there just to get people either to read their Facebook page, you know, or have something to talk about. And sometimes they just don't know because they've read it and read it and read it, so it must be true. And you've got to turn around and try to refocus that and explain it's
absolutely.
Here's the truth of the matter.
It's a little bit tough to get people to open their minds and actually really understand.
It is. And it's more fun to do the juicy
stuff. And participate,
stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Participate is a big thing.
Right. You know, be a part of the solution, not the problem.
Correct.
So, yeah. So, now you're running, right?
Yes,
How can people find out more about Kyla Allen and your campaign, or contribute? How can people help?
Absolutely. Contributing is wonderful. I'm at www.kylaallen.com is my website. It's got you can help by posting signs, you can help by handing out rack cards, especially as we get closer to the elections. And just put the positive word out there is what I like. You can also get on my Facebook site, which is Kyla Allen for Council. And I've got a lot of things I put in there. I put everything in there about the city. My personal Facebook site is also Kyla Allen, so if you want to know the goofy side of me, you can check there. But the professional is Kyla Allen for Council.
Right. Well, and you're always open to just meeting with somebody and talking like this. I know I've had several lunches with you and you know, meetings to discuss your thoughts on the city and some of the key initiatives that you're wanting to address.
Absolutely.
You know, what are some of those key initiatives to share with people?
Probably the biggest things we've got coming up. Well, the budget is a big one. Everybody's talking about the budget right now, and it's going to be a struggle. It's a struggle for everybody every year, and the city has done so good about using every single dollar that they have as efficiently as they can.
Right.
So you're going to see stuff in the newspaper. The biggest thing is we just approved the spending authority, which means the absolute top amount of money the city can spend in the next fiscal year. And last year, I believe it was 84 million, somewhere around 84 million that was approved, but they spent 65 million.
Right.
So it's always, the spending authority is always more, because if we get a grant for $1 million and we don't have it budgeted, we're not allowed to spend it.
Right.
There's technical things. So.
Right. I think that's a big part of what people don't understand, and these are things that you learn when you go to like the League of Cities, and I was excited to be able to attend that because I learned so much that, you know, a lot of this stuff is dictated by certain laws and regulations that you have to follow as a municipality, and I don't think that a lot of people realize that.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit more. So budget, right? That's obviously a hot topic.
It'll be a hot topic until probably August or so.
Of course, you know, that's taxpayer dollars that are coming in, and of course I see it being under a microscope, but I also do see the council taking the time to discuss it and work through it.
Right,
so,
exactly.
The other
couple things coming up that for me, we're hiring a new city manager because Doug Bartosh, current city manager, will be retiring sometime in January. He'll stay hopefully a month to show the new city manager the ropes. We just approved an organization that does all the work for you in order to avoid any kind of semblance of favoritism, because I know we've got a couple of people inside the city that are interested in applying.
So you're looking to expand the search, is that correct?
Search will be for the entire state of Arizona.
The entire state, okay. Yeah.
And then anybody who's interested can apply.
It's going to be quite a process, right?
It is always a process. There's a lot of interviews that happen. You glean it from, who knows, 60, 100. That'd be wonderful if we got 100. You glean it down to a half a dozen, then you glean it down further. And what's neat about this process is the organization that we're going to contract with is also going to get public input. They'll meet with various organizations to see what you're looking for in a city manager, as well as what we're looking for.
So let's take another quick break, and then when we come back, we can talk a little bit more about, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I'd like to know what you're looking for in a city manager.
You bet.
Great.
You bet.
Okay, come on back. Thank you.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. Again, with me is Vice Mayor Kyla Allen, who's running for City Council. There was kind of left off with the city manager position as far as your key initiatives. So what do you think we're looking for in a city manager?
Well, we're looking for in a city manager someone that has a wide vision. We've got detail people that can pick up the ball and take care of details. We want somebody to take us into that next level the city can come. Doug Bartosh has done a great job with opening up Old Town, reducing crime, putting buildings, businesses in Old Town. Actually, when you get one or two key, they're called anchor businesses, it brings the rest of the businesses in, and he was able to do that. And we hope that the next city manager will be able to broaden that, because we're not just Old Town, we're the entire city of Cottonwood, and kind of bring that together and see. It's exciting. What is out there for us? What can he do? And I'm also looking for a strong individual. I don't want somebody that just says, oh, the council told me to do this. I want somebody that can say, you know, maybe that's not a good idea, or how about if we try this instead?
Things,
you know, we don't want a yes man. We want somebody that has his own ideas, or her own ideas.
Right. Yes, ladies. Yes.
That's right. Ladies, step up.
Right. So. Yeah, we had a great town manager in Clarkdale that's also retiring.
Exactly. She's retiring in a year. Yes.
Gail is wonderful. So there was another area that you had shared with me about boards and commissions.
Absolutely.
Right, that's kind of a challenge.
It is.
We have a lot of seats open.
We'll always have some seats open, and the reason for that is, I believe, is the commitment is so long. When you have a 4-year commitment, some people just don't want to do. They might be interested, they just don't have the time. What I would really like to promote this next, if I get back in, when I get back in, would be a citizen engagement plan, meaning that we get a huge pool of volunteers that are interested in specific topics, police department, fire department, retirement, budget, and build this database. And then when we have that topic come up, say, send an email out, would you be interested in sitting on this city advisory group for 1 week, 2 week, 5 weeks? So much easier for somebody when they have an end to that topic. And we get a bigger buy-in from the citizens. We get more variety instead of the same dozen citizens serving on every commission and board. We have one board that it's also public meeting struggles, because some of them are friends, and you get together and you start talking while you're violating public meeting law.
Right, that's a little bit challenging.
So if you have a very limited time and a more intense investigation on whatever the process is, like a budget, I would love to have a public budget process where the public actually comes in and serves on a board and helps us determine what those purchases are going to be for the next year.
So here's a challenge. You know, the city of Cottonwood is surrounded by county land, and there's a lot of our citizens that aren't in the city. How do we address that?
I think this board, this idea, this concept, opens that up. Whereas now we have very limited, you have to have a majority of citizens inside the city. I think that's very much opens it up to the Verde Village area, to the Bridgeport area, the citizens we serve. So they will have a bigger voice than they have now.
They feel they're part of it,
Exactly.
And you know, and I think there's a lot of great minds out there that, you know, we're not tapping into, and
Yes.
this would be a great way for them to serve.
Be perfect.
I happen to live in the Verde villages myself, and I would love to be a part of those things. So
there you go.
But I'm kind of limited, so I'm going to hold you to that
You
because
bet.
I want to be there. So, hey, let's talk real quick about, we have a big event coming up July 25th. The Chamber of Commerce is partnering with the League of Women Voters. It's a candidate forum. So people out there, if you want to get involved and meet who's running for the council, July 25th at the Cottonwood Rec Center from 6:30 to 8:30. You're going to be there, and four other candidates that are going to be. So that's a really good, important event for you to come out and meet everybody and ask questions.
It's exciting to have
What are some other important dates that the voters need to remember?
The first week of August is when the mail-in ballots come out, so mail those back in if you're one of those people that likes to do the mail-in ballot.
Right.
August 28th is the primary election. If you don't do your mail-in, this is where you go to your voting booths and you vote. And then November 6th will be the general election. For those candidates in the primary election that receive 51% or more of the votes, they'll be seated. They don't need to run through November.
Right, so this is really important.
It is
we are
important.
actually down to the wire right here because potentially those early ballots could
choose the candidate.
Could choose the candidate. So again, it's very important for you voters out there to get to this candidate forum at the Rec Center July 25th. Meet your candidates and ask plenty of questions, right?
Yes.
Very important. So let's switch gears a little bit. You've been a member of the Cottonwood Chamber, been very involved with the Cottonwood Chamber for a very long time. And I know you're a big fan, right?
You bet.
But I want you to be tough on me. I'm always looking for ways that the Chamber can service our members better, service the community better. Tell me what the Chamber could do better.
You know, as I thought about this question, I even reached out to other individuals that serve within the city and without the city. And we all actually came up with the same response. And that is, I think the public doesn't know how much you do for the community. I don't think you toot your horn broadly enough.
That's been one of our struggles.
Exactly. I mean, the amount per dollar that say we invest in our bed tax to you compared to the advertising that the city gets out is amazing. And so I think if I was to say anything about the Chamber, you need to let people know what you do.
Well, thanks. That's actually been one of our biggest struggles, and I'm hoping that that is going to change very soon. Pam Miller, we all know Pam Miller. Love
Wonderful.
Pam Miller. Worked
Absolutely.
for Verde Independent for a number of years, 35 years, I believe she's been in the newspaper business. Has also been very involved and sat on our board and been our board chair. And she's going to be stepping up and actually doing a lot of the PR and media work for the Chamber. So we're real excited about that. So I'm hoping that will be a way for the community to know a little bit more about what we do.
Get that PR out there. Absolutely.
It is. It's important. Well, you know, I really do appreciate you being here and spending some time with me.
Thank you.
I would encourage everybody out there to give you a call or shoot you an email or, you know, get to know you and really understand about your service to our community. And I thank you for your years of service to our community.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm looking very forward to you serving longer on the City Council. So if I could vote in the city, I would.
I appreciate it.
Just a quick reminder on those dates: July 25th at the Cottonwood Rec Center, 6:30 to 8:30. Come and meet all of your candidates running for City Council. August 1st, get out there and vote. And the primary is the 28th, and the regular election is on November 6th. Also, check out KylaAllen.com and Facebook.com/KylaAllen Cottonwood City Council member Kyla Allen is Facebook. You can also just do a quick search for Kyla Allen and she'll pop up.
I'll pop up. That's right.
Great. Well, get out there and vote. It's very important. Be engaged and be knowledgeable about what is going on in our city.
You bet.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next month.